I'll get started. Welcome, everybody. Today, we have a very, very special AMA. We are talking with Andre about the Trackdigits opportunity, of course. So welcome, Andre.
Thank you, Rick. Glad to be here.
Yes, awesome. So yeah, it's your second appearance here already. Today, we're going to have a little bit of a more structured approach to this AMA. We're having a couple of questions prepared. We're going to go a little bit more into detail on the actual software. Now, of course, not all of these questions can be answered already. Hence, it's a very early project, but we're going to ask regardless. We're going to see how much information we can gather. And at the end of this AMA, we're going to open the governance vote for the Digits agents so you guys can vote. And vote on whether you want this opportunity on the Digits pad, yes or no. So without further ado, Andre, please introduce yourself to everybody who didn't see your latest AMA and quickly go over what Trackdigits is and so that we're all on the same page.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Rick. Well, my name is Andre Costa. I'm the CTO on the Trackdigits project. For those of you that weren't able to tune in on the last AMA, Trackdigits is a all-in-one platform to help you make the best investment decisions and see the analytics on different tokens. We primarily focus on the tokenomics investing periods, but we have so many different features that we're currently developing and that are further down the roadmap that are super exciting. So all in all, we help people find the best crypto opportunities, the best token opportunities. Me, myself, I'm a software developer, studied data science and artificial intelligence, got into crypto like around 5 years ago, but seriously, around 2.5 years ago in terms of development side of things. And since then, I've worked on probably over 40, 50 different Web3 projects, ranging from NFTs to tokens to DAOs to marketplaces, pretty much anything. And ever since I was presented to Trackdigits, to the project, the idea behind it, it blew me away. The potential that it has and what we're creating here, what we've created so far, that I'll go into more detail further along, is absolutely amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool to have a developer in the executive team. I don't know what your experience on that is. I'm not too experienced in that field, but I don't think that's too common. But you let me know. I think it's pretty cool, right? You're very hands-on. You already said in your last AMA, you're very about the product. You don't care too much about marketing. That's all for other people. You just care about making the best product possible.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of what makes Trackdigits unique. A lot of this Web3 crypto space is very new relatively in the tech world, right? And a lot of projects that we've seen in the past are simply looking to make a profit, right? And they're not really focused on the product, but we really have a tech heavy team. Our developers are super experienced and have built big projects in the past, very high level projects in the past. And that really helps us be efficient and create products that people have never seen before, create functionalities and features on the Trackdigits web app that people have never been able to use. And that's sort of what makes us special.
Right. And about those features, right? So I think we all know, we should all be aware at this point that it's a vesting tracker, basically, right? You can look up crypto coins projects. You can see all of the information, the details. You can track the vesting, smart alerts. But let's try and get it on video as clear as possible. What is Trackdigits? How would you describe it apart from just the vesting possibilities, right? Because it's more than that. That's why it's unique. So yes, you can track the vesting. What would you call the three, let's say, biggest USPs? What Trackdigits has and the other programs out there don't have at the moment?
Yeah, so you described it quite well. Obviously, it is a vesting tracker, but the thing that differentiates Trackdigits here is all the different functionalities and features we're adding onto that, right? Because to be able to identify the best opportunities, the best investments, be able to get indications on which tokens are interesting to buy or sell, we provide a whole suite of different services, different products, that different indicators. So you mentioned smart alerts, but there are also social indicators. So
right,
this has more to do with the social platforms, the social media, so Instagram, Twitter. What's the sentiment behind those? the different price movements. So we take the different vesting periods that have gone on in the past, and we track how that affected the price of the token. So let's say 1 week ago, there was an unlock, and since then it's dumped 20%. Well, that's a good indication for the next vesting unlock time. Other features include calendar, different Discord, Twitter, social media bots that can push alerts and notify you when these unlocks are going to happen. And then the last two would be the community and education portal, because
Right.
of course it's important to have these tools, but also to be able to understand them and also interact with other people that are in your same situation.
Yeah, I think that's definitely I can't argue with that. That's very unique, as in most crypto softwares don't have a per se community or a learning hub attached to that. I am interested though, how far along is that? So how deep do you guys want to go in that community feeling? You just said it yourself, you're very tech heavy. Will there be a lot of time flowing into the educational hub and educating people about vesting, or is it really just a part and an addition to it and not very important in that sense?
I think all these features have great importance to us. Obviously, once you have so many great things on the platform, you have to sort of divide your time. But the educational portal is something important for us because, like I said, we're product heavy. We focus on the tech and making great products, great technology. But we also have to focus on how our community is going to use that technology. What's their experience going to be with it,
Yeah.
right? And also to be able to understand the indicators, the price movements, the calendars, the smart alerts, and all of that. They have to understand what is vesting, right?
That's a good one.
What do these indicators
Yeah.
mean, right?
Yeah.
So the education hub is essential, is absolutely essential for us to be able to spread our knowledge and help our community out. Because without our community, we really just are a great tool with no users.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's I think that's quite clear. Let me just diverse a little bit. We got a question, and I kind of like the question. It's from Massimiliano. He's asking, do you have any examples from some projects that your developers have been involved in? I think you said in your last AMA there are 6 developers right now. I don't think we have time to go over all of them, but maybe some notable candidates there in the team.
Yeah, well, so most of our developers are more from the Web 2 world. They work on full stack projects on more in the Web 2 world, and with this project is really where they're getting more into Web 3. Of course, in this initial MVP version, we don't have, let's say, a smart contract integration, so they really don't have to have much Web 3 knowledge. The only thing that they do understand now while working on this project that I've sort of introduced to them is vesting, tokenomics, how does crypto work, and all of that. And it's really been a learning experience for them on that side. And in the Web 2 world, they've built full stack applications, really ranging in various different industries. Out of the top of my mind, I don't really have specific names on projects, but they're all senior developers. We focused on getting strictly senior developers that have anywhere from 5 to 15 years experience in the sector. It's 2 front-end developers, project manager, and 2 backend developers, and a UX UI designer. The UX UI designer is somebody that has extensive experience in Web3, which is something that we really looked for, because what we see that is lacking in the sort of blockchain industry is that a lot of products don't really focus on the user experience. They just focus, oh, I'm going to make this great Web3 product, but it's unusable, right? How do I connect my MetaMask? How do I do this? How do I transfer? You know, I don't want to lose my funds. This is a big problem in the space. So having something that's intuitive is something we focused on here.
Okay, so the UX UI designer has a lot of Web3 experience, and zooming in on the other developers, so they're very great developers, but Web3 experience is still a bit lacking. Where is that that knowledge then coming from? So is that coming from the executives down to the developers, guiding them to how to use their development skills with Web3, or is it coming from the UX UI designer? How is that being done?
Yeah, for sure. Let me break that down. So obviously we don't have any direct Web3 functionality for this initial MVP version. When I say direct Web3 functionality, I mean it's not like we're interacting with a smart contract, let's say, to purchase an
Right.
NFT or to sell you or to sell our users tokens, right? We're focused on giving data, giving information, showing all the vesting tracker.
Yeah.
So really, these developers don't, let's say, they don't need to work on any Web3 integrations on that side. So we focus on getting people that are very good, that have years of experience in what they in their specific side of the stack. So, like I said, all developers are senior front-end developers. Worked for more than 10 years as a senior front-end developer, creating just websites, the aesthetic look of it, the interactions with the APIs, scalable and efficient databases on the back-end side. We also have a DevOps engineer that focused on creating a secure system and a load balancer for our infrastructure on AWS, which is
Mhm.
absolutely fundamental for us as we expect to have a high volume of users that are logging in, logging out, accessing from one device, accessing from another. So we really focused on people that have loads of experience in terms of building efficient and scalable and secure web apps. And then the Web3 knowledge side of it, which is more informational, understanding what vesting is, has come primarily from me that I have a blockchain background.
Right. Okay. Uh, let's see, real quick in between. Herman is asking, is the Litepaper already available? I just heard that we will get the Litepaper tomorrow morning. So yeah, that's that. Quick in between. So moving back to the AMA, and by the way, everybody in the chat, feel free to any questions. We'll just pause here and there, and we'll just answer you guys. But at the end of the AMA, we'll have a complete segment just for you guys as well. But moving back to the race, because I think that's right now, most people watching right now, they're thinking, what's in it for me, right? What's in it for me in the long term? But they must also be thinking, where are these funds going, and what is going to be done with these funds? And I understand that it's hard to say too much about this, but can you give a little bit of an indicator? What's the vision of, let's say, the short-term future? Will the team expand, or will the team stay the size it is right now? And will the funds be used to practically pay for the team you already have? What is the vision on that?
Yeah. So of course we can't go into let's say specific details about exact allocation for funding, but what we've really discussed internally and what we focused on is whatever funding that we do get, we really need to focus on building the product and building it as best as possible and as big as possible, as wide as possible, and acquiring more and more users that really enjoy the tools that we offer them, right? So a lot of this is going to be allocated towards our dev team growing and growing. Like I said, we're very tech heavy, and we have a lot of features in the pipeline, in the roadmap that we're looking to build. And that's going to require manpower, right? That's going to require talented developers, which obviously are not, say, cheap.
Falling from the sky? No.
Yeah, they're
That's right.
not falling from the sky. But it's really our long-term vision, right? It's what we're mainly looking to build out. And of course, part of that funding is also allocated to our marketing efforts and trying to get the name of our platform out there as most as possible.
Yeah, I assume that's very important. So focusing on the developers a lot. I like that. I think we need more of that in this space right now. We need more people focusing on creating quality products and less hype. So I can get behind that. I really like that. But we can talk a little bit more about the marketing strategy, I feel like. So we already heard there will be a community, there will be NFT communities involved. How much can you tell us about, how is this project going to get out there? You're talking about creating a revolutionary platform, but even if you have the best product ever, but you don't get it out there, then it's still not going to be used. So what's the strategy right now?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't want to go dive too deep into it, primarily because it's not, let's say, my forte.
Of course.
But I can tell you from what I've seen and from what we discussed internally, it's going to be a very huge push to get the word out there with various partnerships with other big players in the space that will allow them to sort of leverage our technology on their own platforms, which creates a synergy there where these other companies that have already a huge user base, they already have a lot of people using their products. We'll see how they integrate with ours, see our company, see our name, become interested, and end up ultimately coming to our platform and seeing everything that we have to offer. And then once somebody lands on our platform, then it's my job, right, from the tech side to make sure they love our products, which is what I'm working on doing. But like I said before, big part of the funding will be allocated to that, right, to sort of developing our relationships and partnerships that we already have, because we have a very strong network and a very strong team that's well connected in the crypto space with other companies, with other startups as well. So there's definitely a lot of things that will come to light that I know a lot of people will be excited about and see that we're very well connected in the space.
Yeah, I think I know what you're getting at, right? Because I don't know, like let's stick to the tech side, right? Because that's your expertise here. What you're talking about basically is the other side of Trackdigits, and that's not necessarily directed at the people using the platform, but you are sitting on a mountain of data. And I suppose that also goes along with Massimiliano again with another question: how will the monetization look like? Can you tell us a little bit more about how that works, right? The monetization, but also the other side of Trackdigits. What will be done with the data that you're harvesting from these projects? Is this also being sold to, for instance, other companies? Is that another source of income? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so what you're getting at is exactly what I was sort of trying to explain. So obviously we have our platform where users can access the information directly, right? Retail investors to get the indicators. But we will be developing partnerships with other companies, right, that can leverage our technology. And when I mention our technology, it could be the bots, let's say, to post information in their exclusive communities about the vesting tracker, the vesting period, the unlocks. It could be directly on their platform. Maybe let's say they have some sort of launch pad, for example, and they want to be able to track the vesting periods. People can go from that launch pad to our website and track their investments and the next unlocks for that. And then finally, we have this huge amount of data that you mentioned that we've accumulated after months of lots of hard work, right? Reading through different projects, informations, white papers, contacting them. And this information is extremely valuable, especially for other platforms, right? That need this data to make investment decisions, not only retail investors, but potentially institutional investors as well. And that ties into the monetization. So for the MVP version that we'll be launching, only people that have certain NFTs will be able to access it. But further along is when our monetization really happens, right? We're still discussing internally how exactly we will structure that, but it could be potentially a subscription model to access the platform. And the other stream of it, and the other stream of monetization would be the selling of this data or of these technologies, these APIs, so other web apps can get the data from our platform and use it on their own.
Yeah. So is there any competition right now in that space, right? You're talking about selling the APIs and the data and the bots. How are our companies getting that data right now? And where does Trackdigits kind of fit in there? Do you guys have an advantage over other competitors with your new technology, or will you be competing with, let's say, the same technology but just improved? How will that look like?
Yeah, well, there are some competitors in the space that do similar things, let's say, but we're differentiating ourselves in various manners. One is with some of the tech and some of the features that we have in our roadmap. Some of those do not exist in today's day and age in other platforms. Other platforms are geared strictly towards institutional investors, which is why they're very hard to read, hard to understand, or extremely costly. Like I mentioned before, with our designer, we're focused a lot on user experience, and for anybody to be able to access our platform, see the data, in an intuitive manner and make their own investment decisions without having to scrape through thousands and thousands of data points, trying to understand what it means, trying to understand if it's, okay, is this a good thing or a bad thing? We try to make it as clear as possible and allow people to make their own decisions with our tools. So that's one way we also differentiate ourselves.
Right. Yeah, I think that's pretty clear monetization explained. So on one hand, you will have the subscription model, and on the other hand, you will have the business to business data API technology. So I think it's pretty clear how the company will make money. Very good question coming in from Anthony. Very typical question. How does the investor make money? So right, we're talking about a pre-seed here, meaning that they're going to be purchasing tokens. What can you tell us about what will be the benefit of that? And well, how can the investor make money with that? I know it's a bit of a quirky question, but just try your best answering that from a technical standpoint.
Yeah, well, from an objective standpoint, really, when you launch a token, let's say to raise funds, there's different rounds, right? Different categories. Because of Digits brands, we're offering sort of this possibility to enter at a very early stage, which obviously entails a much lower price. Mm-hmm. Therefore, since we have let's say VCs and other investors interested in also getting in at this early stage, once the platform launches, we get more and more users, more and more investors, more VCs become interested, the value of the token increases, and the price at which the token is sold in future rounds are also elevated, right? So that's easily a 5x, 10x, whatever x return as the platform grows and we accumulate more and more users and go through more and more investment rounds.
That is, if there is good utility to the token as well. Is there anything you can tell us about that? Or what does the holder get for holding Trackdigits tokens?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't want to go into too much details right now specifically about that, because we have still a lot of decisions to make and on our model. But like I mentioned about the other features on Trackdigits, just from what we've built there, I think you get an idea of all the utility we offer just on the web app. Imagine what we are also planning to offer in terms of token.
Yeah, no, totally. And I think you also have to approach it with a bit of a different mindset. It's a pre-seed. So, things are still, that's part of the deal, right? You get in early, you get a very early price, but therefore not all the questions can be answered. So I appreciate you giving us the most transparent and honest answers there. Massimiliano dropping another good question. He says, you talked about an NFT assets type thing for Trackdigits. Does this mean there will be an NFT project as well? And I think what you meant by that is that already existing NFT groups will get early access, and not that Trackdigits will make NFTs, right?
Yeah, let me clarify that. So for the first version of Trackdigits, holders of certain NFT collections, the ones that we have partnerships with, for example, the founding agents in DigitsPad allocation would have access to our platform, right? In this first initial version, there isn't going to be another an NFT launch here for Trackdigits.
Yeah. Let's see, I didn't read the whole question. If so, do pre-seed investors get airdropped? Right, so that's automatically a no, because there will not be an NFT collection.
Yeah, no NFT.
Yeah. So are you guys already, I mean, you're talking to the Digits brand, so I assume that you're already outsourcing and trying to talk to other NFT communities. Any noticeable names that you are allowed to share with us? Some cool communities that you're chatting and giving the same opportunity to?
Various really cool ones that I really want to mention, but I think
yeah, I'm trying.
I should, yeah, no, you're making it hard for me to let's say reserve some details. I'm trying to answer things as best as possible, but I think it's better if for now we maintain that as under wraps.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it makes total sense. I was just a shot in the dark. See if we can.
Hopefully we can definitely announce that soon. and of course that would be very exciting for investors, for potential investors.
Yeah, totally. Okay, cool. So I think right now the community, the voting has just opened. I set that to open automatically at 17:30 CET. So it's open now. But you guys, we're still here. So ask any questions you want in the chat right now that Andre is still here. In the meantime, let me just propose my final question. And that is basically exclusively for people watching from the Digits brands right now. It doesn't really have anything to do with Trackdigits. In the last AMA, you already clarified Digits brands, Trackdigits, they're two separate entities. But
yeah,
there is the issue, of course, of the DigitsTracker being very similar in name. Is there any official response? Will that just be this way, and will the confusion just be dealt with in the moment, or are there actual plans to maybe change up some styles, perhaps change some names around to make it less similar?
Yeah, well, let me reiterate what you sort of just mentioned, that Digits brands and Trackdigits have no affiliation whatsoever. Even though, like you mentioned, DigitsTracker, Trackdigits name is very similar. Maybe it's just because it's a great name, right? It's a great
it's an amazing name. I agree.
two components put together, right? I think it fits perfectly with our style and with the product that we are developing.
Mm-hmm.
So for now, it will wait, sorry. So for now, the name will stay, because like I said, it's just such a great name, and also there's no affiliation between the two products.
Right. Okay, no, that's clear. You already made that very clear in the last AMA, but just for everybody who's new. Let's move on. Herman says, imagine we are a year further. How does that Trackdigits look like? Well, basically he's asking for a roadmap. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so right now, for our MVP version, what we have developed is the landing page, logins, MetaMask connection, all of that, and then the main feature, which is the to be able to see all the token information on our whole database of tokens, right? We've compiled information on hundreds and hundreds of different cryptocurrencies from all different blockchains. And we have graphs, tables, and other indicators that shows all the information of the vesting periods for these tokens. That's where we're at right now. Currently, we're developing various features and functionalities. Let me list them like I listed before: smart alerts, social indicators, price movements, vesting tracker, calendar, community, education portal, and bots. So all these different elements, I know it's a lot. We're doing a lot of great stuff. Is planned in a timeline from anywhere from 5 to 7 months, around that time frame. These, of course, won't be concurrently; they'll be consecutively. The exact order of these we're still discussing internally, but we've already started moving on different features like the calendar, like the education portal, like the community, and like the price movement. So a year from now, we're looking to have all of this developed and already developing new features that are not even included in this roadmap. So we're definitely doing a lot of stuff in a short time frame. And we're only able to do that because of the great dev team that we have, the organization, the structure, the talent, right? And we're really ambitious. We're looking to build something that's, like I said, other platforms don't have. They don't have these features, and not geared to the target audience that we're gearing towards.
Yeah. Okay. Good answer. Yeah, I think definitely any question about the future, especially a year in the future, is hard to answer. But I suppose we'll read more about it in the Litepaper as well. It's a shame we don't have it yet because the government's just opened, but it's early and we'll get it. I believe it was tomorrow. So any agents that prefer waiting for that, well, that's a possibility. But yeah, that's a good answer. So any other questions, you guys? I see at the timer we have 7 minutes. There will be no further AMAs after we have done this one, unless the vote actually gets pushed through. So this is your time, 6.5 minutes to ask anything. Meanwhile, Andre, perhaps you would like to clarify anything, perhaps something you didn't point out before.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, Rick, the questions were great. I hope I was able to answer as thoroughly as possible. I hope people
Absolutely.
got a good idea of what we're building, how excited we are about it, and the potential that there is here. What I would like to just reiterate is the importance for us of our community and understanding the needs or the wants of our community members, our users. We really focused on building a product that is easy to understand, easy to use, and can give you detailed information at the same time and help you identify the best opportunities for different crypto investments, for different tokens. And obviously, as we continue building, we're going to be focused on getting feedback and adjusting towards what people really need and want.
Yeah.
That is of utmost importance to us.
That's a great part of having that community attached to it, right? So you have a constant feedback loop of people saying good things, things they like, things they don't like, and it will definitely help the software improve. So that's great. Principito, if I pronounce that correctly, is asking you, can you explain more about the token utility? So I think Andre can't really say too much on that for right now, because we already did ask that question, but perhaps you can frame it differently and talk about the vision of what you want the utility of the token to be. Perhaps there will be different less fees, or perhaps certain free access to certain premium tools. What is the idea of that?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, I don't want to go too much in detail into this because it is an essential part of what we're doing, and I want to really be able to detail it as best as possible for the community. But what I can say is, first of all, as an investment opportunity, it's great if seeing the potential of the product, right, and what we're going to build regardless. And secondly, we've been weighing different options, right, on utility for the tokens, because like I said, 5 to 6 to 7 months down the line, we'll have all these different tools accessible to users, and how these users will gain access to these tools is still for discussion in terms of the monetization model, right? So people that have the tokens can potentially have complete access to all features, even the premium ones, even the institutional ones, which can go a long way in terms of their investment journey, right? A product that can
Right.
maybe cost a large sum of money would be completely accessible for somebody that has tokens or invested in a certain round.
So for now, to summarize, the utility is still on the table. There's guaranteed utility, but what exactly it will be is still on the table. But for now, it's mostly about buying a part of a concept, and that's the most important part of partaking right now.
Yes, it's buying a part of what we've already built and what we are continuing to build, what we have on our roadmap for this platform for Trackdigits.
Yeah. Okay. Now that's I think the best answer you can give in this situation. So Herman goes a little bit more on depth in that. He says, for me personally, it's difficult to make a voting decision if I don't have a Litepaper yet. And he asks, how long will the vote be open? For now, it says 48 hours. So you will be able to review the Litepaper before making your vote. Keep in mind, everybody, you can also cast your vote right now and then change your vote again. So if you already have a decision made for yourself, and perhaps later down the line the decision changes due to the Litepaper, you can always change that back up. Principito says, will profits be shared among token holders? Well, I guess we cannot answer that question just quite yet. I can already assume that. So those are questions that are not really possible oftentimes in a pre-seed, especially when the Litepaper isn't there yet. So I hope you guys will get some more clarity on that in a little bit. But for now, I feel like we definitely went over the basics and a lot of the details. I'm seeing the questions dying down now, so I think we're all Pretty much good to go. Let's definitely keep the conversation going over at the Digits Club founding agent chat. We could talk about it some more with the community as we make our vote. But for now, I think Andre did a fantastic job explaining to us everything that is Trackdigits. So Andre, I want to thank you very much for stepping by and taking the time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rick. It was a pleasure, and I hope I was able to answer in the most thorough manner as possible.
Well, I think you definitely did. So, well, thank you everybody for watching live. Really appreciated you guys as well. Probably the AMA will be live on YouTube as well for you guys to watch afterwards. So thank you everybody for stopping by. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.